Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and today we are back with another exciting tutorial. So as you can see in our channel, we are talking about a lot of videos on DevOps, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Cloud, Terraform and Splunk, IoT. So a lot of topics we are covering, and this is a continuation of a DevOps tutorial for beginners. And in this video we are going to talk about top 5 free monitoring tools for DevOps. And the basic idea or the reason why we are creating this video is because a lot of people has been asking me like is there any free monitoring solutions, what are the top free 5 solution, or which software I can use to monitor DevOps tools, or in my environment I can use it for monitoring. We also had a few tutorials on Prometheus, Grafana and all those things, but they wanted to know like what are the best solutions which they can check for a comparison. So I thought I will do that's the motivation. So I thought I will do a video where I can show you some of the key tools which you can use for monitoring, and you can decide which is best suited for your environment. So this is not going to be a technical video how to set up and all those things. This will be a basically an informative video where you can understand, okay, these are some tools available which is a free monitoring tools, not as a paid one. So we will show you all those tools, so you can go and have a look into that, and you can decide whether it will be suitable for your use case. So let's get started. Okay, great. So before we start, you also need to understand what is the importance of monitoring in DevOps. Usually people will think DevOps, what is their monitoring has to do with DevOps. But since DevOps introduce more of automation to software development and life cycle, what happened is, because of the full automation process which we implemented in the software development, this is allowing all these new applications or new product to be delivered to the market with a higher pace or a very quick pace, right? So that's bring this concept like why monitoring is important in DevOps. So that's what we are going to talk, like what is the importance of monitoring, and this, as I said, with the DevOps, because of DevOps we are having a speeding up of your application lifecycle, and we are using a lot of automated tests in their codes, right? And also other scenarios is like you have multiple contributors putting into the single software project, right? You have multiple developers working, and they are checking in, checking out, they are merging. So what case it happens, like this is a place where you need to have a proper monitoring system for understanding the requirement, like every part of the tool chain. So we need to have a proper monitoring system to implement it in every part of tool chain, whether it can be a plan stage, or it can be build stage, or it can be test. So all those stages we need to have a proper monitoring system, so that the whole DevOps cycle is proper. So properly implemented the monitoring system helps also giving a complete insight on what is happening in each stages, and that also helps the business to have a clear view. Okay, this is what happening in the application life cycle, the DevOps life cycle, and also how fast the applications is getting deployed. Is there are some failures happening in which life cycle or which phase? All those things can be monitored using DevOps. Monitoring using these monitoring tools. So that is why the monitoring is a proactive measure in this DevOps process, and which helps us to find the issues and enhance the quality of this application deployment or application delivered to the market, because we can easily identify the bugs or any issues happening in these phases before it's get into the we have a lot of integration tools, we are having a lot of alerts and everything, but DevOps, in the DevOps you have not only just Jenkins, you have a lot of other tools and other process. So monitoring, you can use it for a lot of better tracking of your key performance indicators and business metrics in the production. So before these applications goes to production, you can have a proper monitoring, like what are the key indicators, what are the monitoring, monitoring, which you have to do on which metrics, which before we go into the production. So that is why monitoring is really important. Okay, so and we will talk about what is the requirement for monitoring, and also what are the different tools. So before I get into that, I would request you, like if you are new to my channel, or if you have not subscribed to my channel, click on the subscribe button, and also keep supporting me by liking these videos, sharing with your colleagues and friends. Also give your feedback. I would like to hear your comments, whether you are interested on these topics, or you want to see some other topics, or what improvements I can do. So give your comments as well. So the key requirement for monitoring systems. So these are some key requirements which you need to focus when you're planning your monitoring system. So one is like scalable. So you need to look into a future aspect. So maybe currently your system may be very small, so you need to have a very simple tool. But if you look into a future perspective, you may grow into a bigger environment. So you need to look for a scalable monitoring system. And monitoring is really important, because you need to have proactive measures. So monitoring a system should be highly available. So for example, you are focusing on a monitoring alert which will tell you like this is going to happen, or as proactive measure. And if the monitoring system is not highly available, it's down, then you will not be informed about that downtime which is going to happen in your whole life cycle of your application. So that's going to be a big impact. So your monitoring system as itself, it should be highly available, and it should be able to handle a huge amount of data, because monitoring means you're going to send a lot of logs, a lot of information about your system, your alert. So a lot of things you're going to send to your monitoring system. So this monitoring system should be able to handle huge amount of data. So if you cannot handle that much, if the system performance is having problems, then it will not be a better monitoring system. So you need to focus on that as well. And monitoring means you're going to also do a real-time monitoring. It's not only all data you're getting used to for monitoring. You also need to have a real-time monitoring. And another one of the main thing of a monitoring system is you should have a good visualization, and also user-friendly user interface, where people can easily see these charts, or alerts, or the graphs. All those things should be numbers, tables. All those things should be very user-friendly, and you should have a good visualization. So that's another key requirement which you need to focus when you are planning for a monitoring system. So now let's get started with our top free monitoring solutions or tools. So I will start with Prometheus. So as I said, I have a complete tutorial around 3 hours of videos on Prometheus, where I've shown you complete setup of how to set up Prometheus, starting on CentOS or Docker, and creating alerts, having exporters, node exporters. You can see about tutorials on integrating with Grafana, creating dashboard. So I would request you to have a look on that in the playlist. I will also link that into this video description, so you can have a look. So Prometheus, as you may know, or if you don't know, it's an open source system monitoring and alerting toolkit. So Prometheus, it's collect and stores the metrics as a time series data. So that's the overall thing it's happened. So this is one of the very good open source tool which a lot of people use, and it has a good integration with other tools as well. So that is why Prometheus is very popular, and you can also use a lot of push gateways to support short-lived jobs, or you can also have a lot of exporters like HAProxy or StatsD, Graphite, node exporters. There are a lot of exporters which you can use it to get a lot of data into Prometheus as well. And we can also create alerts in Prometheus, and you have a configuring alert rules, where you can configure what kind of alerts you want to generate in Prometheus. So all those things is easily possible with in Prometheus. And as I said, it's goes very well with Grafana. So Grafana is also a visualization tool which you can make use of along with the Prometheus, and you can get a pure user interface. You have charts and all those things in the Prometheus. So if you want to access Prometheus, you can go to prometheus.io. So if you go to prometheus.io, you will be in a page like this, where it will talk about different things about Prometheus. If you go to get started, you should have a complete information like what is Prometheus, how to download and set up Prometheus, how to configure, the Prometheus.yaml file. All those things should be here in the Prometheus, documentation. I'll link that also into this video description. So you can also see, like in the docs, it talks about what is Prometheus, what are the metrics. You can also see the architecture of Prometheus, like how the data will be used and how it can integrate with other, Grafana or alert managers, or how it can use a lot of other exporters and all those things. So you can read through this. So as I said, I'm not going to talk about technical things. This is more about an information which I want to pass, like what are the tools, where you can go and access, and how you can get the data. So I will give the links in the video description. You need to go there and read and find out what is best suited. I'm not going to give any comparison on one tool to other tool. So moving on to the next tool which we are going to talk is called Sensu. So this is also an open source infrastructure and application monitoring solution, and this also helps you to monitor all your servers, services, application health, alerts, sending alerts and notification. So most of all these monitoring solution does monitoring of servers, services, application, but how to configure maybe a little bit differently for each applications. So as I said, Sensu is also endorsed as a full stack monitoring tool in general term. So and if you want to monitor a cloud infrastructure, Sensu is the best or simple solution, and it's a good option for go for it. So as I said, Sensu also codify the monitoring workflow, so you can have a declarative configuration files for Sensu, and the configurations like Terraform, and it can be shared among team members, or you can act as use it as a code, and you can put it in GitHub, edit, review version. So that's another feature of Sensu which you can make use of it. And in order to access Sensu, you need to go to sensu.io. So let's have a look. So if you go to sensu.io, you will get the complete details about Sensu, the details about how which version you can download, what are the integrations, what is the pipeline monitoring as a code, multi-cloud cloud. So all those things, you will get it here, and how to run it as a Docker containers. And you can also see the pricing, even though, as I said, it's every open source will have enterprise version as well. So for example, the free version, you have unlimited evaluation. So it's not like some trial versions, but there are some restrictions, like you can go for 100 nodes. So you can go through all these details, like if you have a pro version or enterprise versions, you can read through this. So you can also go to docs, which will give you details more about Sensu as well. You can see like Sensu Go. So it's a complete solution for monitoring and observability. So and it's designed to give you visibility into everything you care about, right? Like servers, closet, containers, application, cloud, and more. So you can read through all these things, and it's an agent-based solution. So yep, so I'm not going to read through all these things to you. I will give you the links for all these things in the video description, so you can just go and have read through all those things. The third tool which we are going to talk about is Zapix. So this is also an open source monitoring tool which is used in diverse IT components for monitoring, like networks or servers or virtual machines or cloud services. So Zapix is also one of popular tool for monitoring, which is used in a lot of enterprises. And Zapix is an agent which you need to have installed on Unix or Windows. And there is an alternative also, like you can also have without agent setup. Like it's include the monitoring using like SNMP, TCP, or ICMP check, or SSH or JMX or Telnet, those kind of things. So you have both options, whether agent wise installation or without agent as well. And it support a variety of real-time notification mechanisms. So that's another feature of Zapix. So some of metrics you collect from which we can collect from Zapix is like network devices, services, cloud, IoT, OS monitoring like HTTPS, log file, databases, applications, so a lot of protocols, APIs, all those things can be monitored using Zapix. And if you want to access Zapix, you can go to zabbix.com. So let's have a look. So this is the Zapix page. If you go to zabbix.com, you can get a very good page where you have complete details on what monitoring you can monitor, network or servers or cloud, monitoring services. You can have more details here, and you also have different features like what is the features of using Zabbix, and a lot of things are defined here. You can go through the complete details over here. You can also go to Zapix documentation, so which version you want to go, it will give you complete details about installations, and all those details are here, so you can see the complete details, how download, install, in different process. So all those things are here. So I will give you the link for, as I said, for all these things in the video descriptions. You can have a look into there, and you can read through it, think about which is suitable for you. The fourth tool which we are going to talk about this in the monitoring solution is Nagios. So Nagios is also a free and open source monitoring application to monitor your systems, the network or infrastructures, and also as other tools like Nagios also offer monitoring and alerting for server switches, applications, all those things. So because that's a common one, but Nagios, if you see, it's been in market since 1999. So this is one of the old monitoring tool, which I would say like maybe it's been going out of market because there are not much big changes or development, I think so, because there is a fork created from Nagios, and there are other versions as well. So Nagios, if you see like it, the benefit is like, since it's been in market for long, it has a lot of plugins available to use with Nagios, so you can get a lot of features on that. So but this is one of old tool which is still used, but I would say like compared to this, probably people has already moved to like Zapix or Prometheus, sensu, or like that. And if somebody have enterprise, so some people may go for Splunk or some other enterprise license version as well. So let's have a look on Nagios. Now you can see Nagios again. If you go to nagios.org, you can see like complete monitoring details like Windows or Linux or server application, SNMP, like all those details are listed here. So you can read through this, and you can also go to download, or you can go to about, and you can read the blogs or overview. All those things are here, so you just need to read through it, and you need to follow the steps which you need to implement it. Maybe in future I'll be creating separate videos for each application, how to set up, but it takes a lot of effort from mine, so I need more time to find out of my busy schedules to do that. So this video is more about, as I said, I want to share you information on like what tools you can use, and you can have a look where to look. So all those information I'm sharing in this video. And the last monitoring system or solution which we are going to talk about from this top 5 is icinga. So icinga is also another monitoring solution, but this is more for the network resources. So icinga uses to check the availability of your network and notify the users about outages or the performance data for reporting. So that's the use for icinga. But if you see, like, icinga was created as a fork of Nagios monitoring system. So as I said, Nagios was there from 1999, I believe. So, and from there, if you see, icinga has been created as a fork from Nagios, and they have added a lot of features on that. So icinga is also a tool which is scalable, easily configurable to function each type of devices. And similar to Nagios, icinga also have thousands of plugins available. Not only the standard plugins, you have a lot of community plugins, since it's an open source tool which you can use. And you can access icinga like in the web page like icinga.com. Let's have a look. Yeah, if you go to icinga.com, so this will be the page where you can get more details about icinga, like it how to details. You have complete details about icinga as well. So you can go to get started, and you can even ask download. You can try a demo. It's give you the installation details, and all those things are there. You can also go to learn, and you can go to documentation, and you have docs for each version. So there also you can see like what is icinga, what is the architecture for it, and what is the installation step. So all those things are available here, and I will again give you the links for all these tools in the video description, so you can go through it and you can have a look. So those are the 5 tools which we I wanted to discuss or want to show you guys in this tutorial. And as I said, this the motivation for this video is like tomorrow to show you what are the free tools available which you can make use of for monitoring your DevOps systems, and you can have a look which is best suited for your need. So that is all for this video. So once again, I would request you, like if you're new to my channel, or if you would like to see more videos from my channel, subscribe for more videos, and also like my videos, share and comment. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.